What's going on? Earth Power here,
CVH here.
and we're bringing you sort of a state of the meta kind of update video. Basically,
How to state the meta for a pro foundational.
exactly. So basically, like some stuff we're gonna go over today. I've got a ton of shout outs that I'm gonna get to towards the end of this video. Their links are gonna be down below if you want to go check them out while you're listening to us here. But
Keep us up in the tab.
Yeah, for the bulk of the video, we're gonna be talking about basically like the state of our meta here in Southern Virginia. Might be a little bit different from, I guess, the scene that's up in New York or like Thunder Sultan scene down in
Texas.
Dallas, Fort Worth, and all that down in Texas. So, but this is basically going over our meta, what we see that's being played a ton, and then some answers to it. Some of the other decks that are sort of doing pretty well, but just how everything's mostly swimming here in this here in our meta. So we're gonna hop right into it, and like the name of the game here right now is blurple. Like blurple is just running everything. It's like since we coined the term back in
I coined that.
Since here on channel Earth Power. That was back in like July.
That was back when battle decks were a thing.
Yeah, right when battle decks came out, blue and purple, like just turned into.
I remember when blurple. Do you remember when blurple ran 3 Zagons? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
But yeah, like blurple's always been a thing ever since the battle decks. Like Gorby's been running the version 1, 2, 3, 4, and now like with Evo Fury out, we've got this sort of like blurple had always been this very standard control, like to its core, just blue for draw, black for destruction, and then
Disruption.
And then all of a sudden it turned into this aggro-y kind of like fast-paced control.
Tempo, I think, is the best word for it.
Yeah.
Tempo.
As much as he hates these terms that
I've grown to love ramp after I used it ironically once. And tempo because I kept trying to classify it, and I hated it when Carl called it aggro because I was like, well, it has a ton of control elements. Like no aggro deck takes care of the field this well. And then I just thought about like Matt was talking about like tempo. Like, it really does control the tempo. Like the game goes as fast as you want it to go.
Exactly.
That was pretty cool.
So it turned into this tempo-ish thing, and then it just kind of it's what is winning everything right now. Like blurple is one of.
It didn't win last week. It won this week. It won this week. It's very consistent.
It is. It's one of the most consistent decks I think that are around right now. It like when you're playing it with like other players that know what they're doing, like it's very much like the 50-50. Like this deck is just keeping toe-to-toe with everything else right now, if not going above and beyond. But the other card that has been running this meta, and I think has been since it first got released with the battle decks, Aqua Seneschal. Like at the end of the day,
every deck is Seneschal beat down.
Like
that's only for this set though. I'm pretty sure it'll change like next set, but
yeah, it's just these attack for effect creatures right now, the momentum that you can get behind with and just take that early lead, like turn 3 and 4, dropping Seneschal or like Razorhide. Razorhide's not even that good anymore. Or Razorhide, Gigastand, like Gigastand and Seneschal with blurple are like the two main ones right now. But you drop one of those, you drop Seneschal, and then all of a sudden you've got these weird like pluses that are just coming out of nowhere. Like you're not losing anything by breaking shields.
And the thing is, they're not even really pluses. It just puts your opponent in such a bad position. Like you could be giving them all the cards, but as long as you have the control of the field, and they have to they only have 5 mana, and they have to deal with like 2 things and your whole hand, and it's a problem for them.
So. On top of the other stuff that you're doing while they're trying to deal. Like,
and if you deal with the Seneschal, then wow, you left them with like the like random Scared of Gloom Hollow they might have because you had to deal with the Seneschal first, and they Medusa you, and then that's another problem. And it's like wow.
That's the other crazy thing about blurple right now. I try to like tell myself, I'm like, why is this doing so well right now? Like, why are these cards?
Because I'm playing it.
Well, no, like I'm saying, like. I go back to think and just like what makes these cards so special. Like Medusa is just 5 for 5, kill something. Like what makes it so special? And it comes down to the bait. Like
Gigabolver.
Yeah, Gigabolver is all of a sudden ridiculous. Like a turn 6 Medusa is scary as hell, followed by another one on turn 7 to like
turn 5 to turn 6.
Yeah, you double evolve it and then just like holy like what the heck is going on?
Was that against Matt or Amber that I played 3 in one game?
I cannot remember. I think it was Matt.
They were on the field at one time.
Yeah, it was the finals of Matt that you guys saw a couple days ago. But or yesterday actually.
Watch that match, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, like the bait in these decks are ridiculous. And then to Neuron, like Neuron makes blurple right now. He's big. He comes out early, like third turn. If you drop Cyber Sprite turn 1 and then you drop him turn 3, like unless the opponent has the Bone Blades, they don't have an answer to him typically until turn 5 or 6. Like it's just all of a sudden this aggression that can't be stopped because it's unblockable. Like he's taking shields if he's swinging, or he's revenging stuff if he's swinging. Like the advantage is just that there's just so much of it with Neuron, and he's so early.
I only run 2 Neurons. Check out my profile on my own channel, Christian Van Hoos.
Yeah, channel CBH. Like I said, links are down below for all the channels, but we'll get to those shoutouts a little bit later. But yeah, like Neuron and Medusa are just running the meta right now, at least around here. Like,
but at the end of the day, it's mostly Aqua Seneschal and Rusalka.
Yeah.
And Screeching Scale.
But even so, like you talk about Seneschal, you talk about Screeching, like they are bait for 2 of the biggest like tempo changing. What do I say?
I've never evolved a Seneschal, I don't think.
Like momentum changing, just like. But regardless, like they're still bait. Like even if they're good, like they're obviously amazing on their own, but then all of a sudden they're this fantastic bait that you can just drop a Medusa or a Neuron on if you need to go do wild things.
Well, generally, because Screeching is a better bait card because the +1s when you play it, and Seneschal requires like multiple turns to plus. And usually Seneschal is the best when you have other follow-up plays like Screeching or Rusalka, as opposed to just putting another card on top of it to do the same thing usually.
Yeah.
Because if you can clear the field, it doesn't matter how big your Seneschal is, the field is clear. So that's the thing.
Yeah. But I mean, even still, like you get to turn 6 and say you've got your opponent down to no shields, like Seneschal turns into that drop Seneschal, drop Neuron, swing the game. Like it's crazy. Like and the rest of the bait too. Cyber Sprite is just a chump blocker, which is basically all blockers tend to be at this point. And
the problem arises when people overextend with bait because everyone runs 3 Barrage now in Fire.
Yeah.
So you can't just drop like Sprite and Trader. Like I almost never play Trader unless I already have Neuron in my hand for turn 3, because past that it's sort of a useless card.
Yeah. So if
I open with a Sprite and I'm not against Rush, I'll wait till turn 2 to play the Sprite to see if I even need to, or that I draw Neuron. Because if I don't need it on turn 2, I'm just not going to play the Sprite on turn 2.
And that segues us perfectly into just the talk about Barrage and Tendril, like the 2 #1 cards to answer Blurple right now, and cards that make decks like Water Dark Nature, Water Fire Nature aggro, Water Dark Fire Control, like Barrage and Tendril like are key elements in those decks to combat just any of that aggression that would give them a problem generally. And there's shield triggers on top of that. But I mean, they literally hit almost everything in, or almost all the threats in Blurple.
And Tendril especially, because if they do get a turn 3 Neuron, that's like one of only 2 Shield Blasts that are commonly played that can deal with it outside of Pit. Like you got Pit, Bone Blades, like the nature equivalents, and Tendril Grasp.
Mm-hmm. Like that is just super cool. I mean, sure, it gives them that advantage in mana,
which can be really bad because Blurple only needs like 5 mana to stay with. So then you're there at 5, and it's like whoa. But you know, it's a necessary thing because they have a field of like 2 guys.
Exactly. Like we're talking about like how critical field advantage is at this point in the game, like in the current meta. I'd be using the word meta a lot in this video
because it's the state of the meta.
Yeah, exactly, state of the meta.
Profound decimal.
But yeah, like the state, like the state, board state, I guess field state, I don't know, is just so critical. Like if you have control of the board, it almost, like I'm not going to say all the time, but like 50-50%. If you have 4 or 5 creatures on the field and your opponent has like none to 1 and a handful of whatever, like chances are you're probably going to take the game. Like,
and it can switch real easy too.
Yeah.
Like that's like I was at 6 mana and I was up against my first round of Skype match today against Mono Dark, and he had like 4 things out, maybe 3. I killed one with the Shield Blast, then I kicked a ball over Medusa, killed one with the effect, attacked over the other one, then it was my 2 to his 1, the next turn I got rid of the rest, and it was just Medusa.
Yeah. Like the deck just can switch momentum so easily. Go back to watch the mirror on the channel a day ago. Like you saw momentum switch on Matt's field and CVH's field almost every turn until you got towards like the last couple of turns where one of them would take the game.
And we both opened with some nuts hands too. I looked at that video back and he had some crazy hands. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, even in like I think Matt took the first game or the second.
He got the first.
Yeah, he took the first one. Like even the first one, like CVH, like Matt had all the momentum, then CVH switched it, goes in for game, hits a trigger, like, or doesn't it? You weren't even going for game. You were like setting up for game for the next turn.
So much, it was just impossible.
It's just so back and forth. It's absolutely ridiculous right now. Like Blurple, ugh.
Not a huge fan of the mirror match, you guys. Not the biggest fan.
But then, like we were saying, we're talking about Barrage and Tendril right now. Those are the 2 #1 answers to Blurple right now. Like, Like, you talk about cards that, like, if I were to even say, like, obviously, like, right now we're blurple's on the mind, but, like, talk to any one of us at any given moment and say, like, what's the number one card you probably don't want to see the opponent playing if you're running blurple, and the answer is Tendril or Barrage.
Depending on what they're running.
Yeah, if you know they're running those two cards, that's the card you're looking out for the entire state of the duel.
Like a Bone Blades hurts, but let's put it in perspective. Usually when you break a shield, you're giving them a -1. In this case, it's going to the grave, so you're not giving them a -1. They're losing to Barrage, you're losing to Seneschal, and you get to draw, so you're still like not the worst spot if they happen to Bone Blade your Seneschal. Like, a lot of people hate it when it happens, but it's not the worst thing that could ever happen. But if you get Bone Bladed on a Neuron, it hurts even more. And if you hit with Seneschal and you hit Barrage, it hits two things, it hurts even more. Yeah. That's when it really hurts.
Just the fact that they just clear multiple things at once, like especially when you're trying to set up fields and boards for games. Like I go back to God, we've had some crazy Barrage plays around here. Like
Spencer Swan, shout out. Rusalka Barrage.
Go check out CBH's channel. Like Rusalka a card back, Rusalka an Essence Elf back, and Barrage for the +4. Yeah. Or even to go back, I think I was playing you with the Water Dark Fire aggro that one time, and you overextended on your field, and my Barrage wound up wiping out like 2 Gloom Hollows, a Seneschal, and something else.
I wasn't even recorded. I was in the top 4. I was mad as hell.
It was just like just the fact that it can clear multiple cards at any given moment, like it's
yeah. And when fantastic. I started actually having to play around Barrage, when I started winning more with like decks like Blurple and even Water Dark Fire Control, because I just made myself never play more than one Gloom Hollow at once. Because sometimes you'll be tempted to, because you're like, if I only have one, then should I get to block the heal flame and they break a shield? But on the whole, it's better because you will break the Barrage, and then you will have another one in your hand, and it'll be good.
Yep. It's just knowing to be more conservative, like just.
Understand. The conservative playstyle.
Yeah, understanding that if you're in a good position, there's no reason to drop extra stuff because cards like Barrage and Tendelgrass exist.
I mean, you can drop extra big stuff, like, you know, go ahead and drop that other Nepus. It's pretty cool.
Of course.
But...
yeah, Nepus is a big card right now, too. Like,
we should have written that down. Yep.
Yeah. So, Nepus is kind of a funny story. When it first got introduced, we kind of didn't give it the credit it deserved. It was just kind of like, oh, this is cool.
Maybe one day.
Maybe something someday. Like, weren't the biggest fans. We were looking at the power cards at that point, like just the big evolutions, like those.
And I actually only started running because I thought it would be cool with King Coral, which actually turned out to be the most underwhelming thing of the whole thing.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, well, it can combo well with this guy, so let's try it here. And then you realize you drop King Neptus, and all they can do is swing over it. And
if you're running a deck like Blurple that never lets them have creatures that can swing over it, stay on the field, then you're pretty much set.
Yeah, like the only answers I think from most decks right now are Tatsurions or like other finishers. Otherwise, there's just really no way to get to it.
In Blurple, they're probably never going to get a swing over with Dark-Scared Orbital because you can keep their field clear. If you're in the mirror match, they have to 1-for-1 with Medusa, which means they have to kill something else with the effect. If you even have something else, then ram with their 2-stack to your 1 Neptus, which blows for them, because Medusa can usually generate so much more advantage. And even Neuron, they have to waste 2 cards to get Neuron out, so that's 2 for them. They draw a card, sure, which puts them into -1, and then you -1 with the Neptus, so it breaks even. You break even with a Neuron, that's pretty sweet. I'm okay with that.
So, like, all of a sudden, Neptus just turned into this crazy card that's just... like, you drop it, and it's just all of a sudden, oh god, what do I do to get rid of this? Like, you stop playing Kaijudo for a second and you start playing, let's figure out how to deal with this Neptus.
And then we can go back to the Kaijudo.
And then we can get back into the game. Like, it completely just draws all the attention to it. So that was interesting. I was glad to see that card became a thing, because when it first got introduced, I was like, this is really cool. I've never seen anything like this. Something that just can't be targeted, can't be chosen.
Petrova.
Well, yeah, you go to Petrova, but I mean, he's like, are they the same effects pretty much? I'm pretty sure it's worded differently, but
yeah, it is a totally different game.
It's just like Neptus was just crazy. Yeah, are you good?
No. As soon as you turn the camera on, it's
this guy. State of the meta address and
pro-foundational.
Just over here.
I'm huge. Oh, I'm huge.
Yeah. That blooper reel, guys. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's some funny stuff. A couple of the other cards that are really, I guess, relevant in this meta currently are Tatsuri and the Unchained.
Swag. I lost to that.
Very cool card. When it first got introduced, I started comparing it a lot to Razorkinder, just because it's a creature.
It's a
that kills something.
And
like,
it's rather large.
Yeah, it's a body that kills stuff. Like, it was just really, really cool.
I don't need to tell you how annoying it is to have to play Neuron to draw, and then you just know they're going to Unchained attack over it and ruin you.
right now, like, and that's the other thing too. A lot of people started talking about Unchained, like 6,000 power.
It just gets over the threats.
Yeah,
it's over Nepus.
Well, yeah, currently, but like when it first got introduced, Zagan was the biggest thing prior to base set. Like that was the card that was running the meta, and then you got Unchained, and it was like, okay, Unchained's cool. Zagan still kills it, like, and Bolttail kills it.
Yeah,
like,
pre-base set, like, my control decks mostly ran just Bolttail and Morna the Gatling Dragon because, think about it, you don't need the bait. Sure, Unchained gets to kill Seneschal, but Seneschal wasn't a big deal back then because there weren't, like, you could run Seneschal and be aggressive with it.
You could run 2-drop blockers.
Yeah, you could run Seneschal and be aggressive with it, but you were not running aggro. You were just running a deck that could go aggressive with Seneschal early, and late game, 6,000 power could kill it, +1 and everything, but then my Morna could kill it, my Bolttail can kill it. You're probably not going to get the attacking effect off because I'm not attacking myself. So, and the control mirror was kind of abysmal back then, and now it hits everything.
Yeah,
and then it can attack over most things,
all
too.
All of a sudden, like, blurple, like, caps out at that 5,000 power mark. So you drop Unchained, it kills the majority of the bait. Like, I think it kills everything outside of the evolutions and blurple.
Yeah, the things that could deal with it, such as Morna, have been phased out right now because Medusa is so big right now.
Yeah, so. and Morna's just too slow. You're not getting the effect until turn 8, and
it can get Rusalka
Blurple runs almost 9-10 answers to it. The Rusalka, the Pit, the Medusa, like, it's just, you're at turn 7. If you're just dropping Medusa, Blurple welcomes.
And God help you if they're running Milporo.
Yeah, just that, like, Blurple just says, yes, drop big things that aren't doing anything immediately, please.
Because I'll drop small things.
That kill that.
And then get barraged.
Exactly. But, like, it's just Unchained. It's just this ridiculous behemoth right now, like, just putting in so much work. And then on the flip side of that, like, Tatsurion itself, with the ability to just revenge kill stuff at turn 6. Like, they drop Medusa and kill something and swing it at a shield, and then you drop Tatsurion, the one from the battle decks, and just go in and revenge their Medusa, and then all of a sudden, like, they're at that turn 5, if they don't have any more bait, they've got to, like, set up something to get rid of Tatsurion before it starts killing stuff. Like, the neat effect of being able to just go in and swing and revenge stuff is really, really good right now.
That's why I'm about
to experiment again. And that 6,000 power mark is the benchmark now.
That's why I'm about to experiment again with Water Dark Fire Nature, because Reap and Sow to Tatsurion is pretty cool.
Yes, and that segues us perfectly into Reap and Sow. Like,
woo!
The nature card that everybody sort of hyped, and then it just kind of fell, and now it's just kind of like...
People just don't know how to say a card is pretty good.
Yeah. Everyone, Reap and Sow, best card of the set. Reap and Sow,
worst card of the set.
And then Reap and Sow is just kind of like this good thing.
It's bad in aggro decks that already had the Beastkin line.
Yes.
It's good in control decks with a small nature section, such as my old one with 3 Gigahorn, 3 Reap and Sow, 3 Tendril.
Yes.
That was pretty real.
Yes.
It's like the greatest top deck.
Reap and Sow has definitely turned out to be one of the best control cards nature could provide.
And nature does not have a lot of good control cards, so it's not that hard. But
no, like especially like you're looking at Bronze Arm Tribe. If like Reap and Sow just has so much more value. Like sure, Bronze Arm gives you the body,
but it's almost no field presence anyway.
You're not gonna do anything with that body. Like that 1,000 power is not doing anything right now, especially when you're in the meta with Blurple that's attacking at you constantly, and Bronze Arm really can't bump with any of that. So, like, he's just this 1,000 power body that just sits there and looks real dumb for a little while. Whereas Reap and Sow gives you the value of... Yeah, Reap and Sow gives you... replaces itself in the hand. When you get the choice, you get to look at the top 2, you get the choice, and then you get ahead in mana, and you get to replace the card.
The choice really makes it good, because you're getting 2 cards deep. You can set yourself up for a game. You can know what you have. Like, sure, if you were just drawing a card, you'd be getting the other card anyway, but this way you know, like, for the next turn that... All right, I can do this next turn. Yeah, it helps you set up.
The setup value is awesome. Like it just there's so much value to Reap and Sow right now in that control. It just makes it a really, really good card, and one that's starting to see a little more value now than it has in the past. And I think we'll continue to see more value.
Before I test it this weekend and go 0-3.
Well, I'm saying as far as control is concerned right now, it's really not the best. Like it was. And then now with all these evolutions right now,
it's still pretty good.
Yeah,
it reminds me of the matches I lost.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good right now. Like control is good, but I'm saying in a meta defined by these evolutions right now, and the fact that momentum's such a big deal, like.
Well, I want to talk about Sabretooth because that defined the meta here for like a few weeks, and now it's just sort of not as good as Flame Spike.
Yeah.
That happened, you guys.
Yeah, all of a sudden I think people just realized, hey, we've got Return to the Soil and Bone Blades. And if we're running any sort of nature or darkness, we're running 3 of those. Like
more like, hey, it's turn 5. Sabretooth is now worse than Flame Spike. Because you can bronze arm and then...
Yeah, bronze arm into freaking flame spike is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially
Medusa's like the only answer. You just can't.
You can't kill it.
You can't.
Like, it's just it's there. You have to remove it somehow.
Yep. You can't.
But yeah, that's I mean our meta in a nutshell, a very very brief nutshell, and I know we've been talking for a little while now. But
yeah, so basically, looking back on the last 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago we had the 17-man tournament. The top four was 2 blurple decks and 2 water fire nature aggro decks. That the blurples face each other and the water fire natures face each other in top 4, and then the water fire nature wound up winning in a very close match.
Yes.
And then
you
this
can check that out on Omega Zero Kevin's channel.
Yeah, Omega Zero 84.
Yep,
Please subscribe to him. Go do that right now.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm getting to it twice.
Yeah.
And then this past weekend there was 3 blurples and the water dark nature aggro. Like I said, like a lot of Medusas, and whoever Medusa the best usually won.
Yep. Like, ugh. But blurple, like, period. Followed by, well,
it's pretty good.
It's like Seneschal, 8 blurple.
Rusalka, I'd say.
Yeah, the Seneschal Rusalka play is just like.
Yeah, I'll tell you what sucks, you guys, is going second. You know what really grinds my gears is losing the die roll in the blurple mirror, because I'm like, all right, I know he opened with Seneschal. Yep, he drew into Seneschal my turn 3, of course. Here's a Seneschal. Then I'm like, all right, I got my Seneschal here. And I have the Cyrus Sprite that I just drew. If I Seneschal, I can't be Screechinged, and I can bounce next turn. If I Sprite, I can be Screechinged. But if I Seneschal, so you have to play the Seneschal, pretty much, because if you play the Sprite, you can lose to Rusalka and Screeching on their next turn they attack. But if you play the Seneschal, the only thing that hits it is Rusalka. But they still have the Rusalka, because there's like 3 Rusalkas. And 3 Boneblades. There's so many good turn 4 plays that just make Seneschal so live. And basically, if you go second, you might lose unless you have a good shield blast.
Yeah, like it just like I constantly say momentum. Like it's just the momentum that Seneschal to playing whatever for removal.
Yeah, because let's say in that scenario they play Screeching on something, and then you go and then you have to Rusalka their Seneschal because it's your only play and it's your turn 4, and then they have the Medusa and you're like, damn. And that's happens. But that's why I like this meta is really cool and I like the decks a lot, but I'm glad we're waiting for organized play and we don't have it quite yet because I would say playing all these blurple mirrors would kind of get tiring in an actual event.
Yeah.
I prefer the heavy duty control myself. So
yeah, that's something to mention too. Like with the exciting news, like going back, I think we talked about this. I don't know when the update was that we talked about this was, but maybe one a couple of days ago. But
tomorrow.
Just what?
It was tomorrow. It came out tomorrow.
Oh god, more blue barrel stuff. But anyways, with exciting news for OP coming this January, like hopefully that like we'll get something to make these decks like just because it's
the next set will make them interesting.
Yeah, like the mirror itself, like just the fact that there's so much blurple right now, it's just getting really stale.
It's probably just our shop, but
yeah, to give us
overall playing the Seneschal Rusalka Screeching game, Medusa's games we need more cards. But it's good that we're getting more cards before we're at tournaments probably. So
yeah. But
yeah,
that is the state of the meta, if you will. To get to shoutouts now, like with a new year, who's ever now subscribing in this 2013 year, definitely go check out all of these channels that have sprouted up over the past 6 months. Some of them more recent than not.
We've been doing stuff since 2011. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. CVH mentioned right before we started this update, like will be our 3rd year, like doing stuff. We started in
even though we're only in our 2nd actual year, but it's 3 specific.
Yeah. We started
years.
October 2011 and made it through all of 2012, survived the 23rd, and now here we are in 2013. Still going strong.
Yep, even stronger than before.
Yeah, with Kaijudo being announced back in June, like it's just giving this channel a whole new light and just it's so much fun. Like so much fun. Duel Masters was starting to get stale, guys. And then Kaijudo just flipped it all around, and it's just been a constant roller coaster ride since.
And my channel, and Earth Power's channel, is going to be the #1 sources for all of your competitive needs.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll start it off that way. Go check out CVH's channel if you haven't already. Like,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, got great deck profiles, really good matches up there. Like, it's very focused.
I don't post a whole lot of content, so I make sure the content I post is pretty good.
Yeah. and he's at your 188.
And if you don't like
now,
Control,
so.
you might just want to not subscribe, because I usually just post what I'm actually playing, just so y'all think what I'm thinking. I don't like Carl posts a lot of different decks, so y'all get a different idea of different things, and I usually just post like what I'm actually doing.
He posts very, very like straightforward. Like I said, it's very focused over there, whereas over here you'll get an array of everything that's going on versus just like what's like going like top tier, I guess could be a word.
Saying I'm bottom tier? Tier 2?
No, I'm
tier
saying you're posting what's top.
Oh.
God, you don't listen.
Nope.
He just wants to be mad. But like he's over there posting pretty much just what's either winning or what's doing really, really well. Like whereas you're getting the array of everything that's going on over here. And he's almost at 200 subscribers. Get him to 200, and he's got a bunch of giveaways he's doing over there. Got a bunch of cool stuff going on.
I got a poster somewhere over there. That's gonna be a prize. Get it signed by
poster deck
Team Peach.
Poster deck boxes, a whole bunch of cool stuff. So definitely go.
I don't have any deck boxes.
Well, no deck. The structure decks and stuff like that. But go subscribe to him. Get him to 200, and get a bunch of free stuff. Next, Thundersoul.
We should talk about people in our area since we're on that thing. Also in our area, from our local scene, Poji Force, a.k.a. the Kaijudo Hatter, a.k.a. Sean.
Yeah.
Subscribe to him. I don't know what he's doing with the Kaijudo Hatter thing. I think that's kind of weird, but his videos are pretty cool, so.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. He's got a little bit of a different group over there because he plays with the Atlantis group, whereas we're focused here in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, but we intermingle sometime.
Yeah, but we've got our leagues that we do, and he shows up to them. He brought, like Christian was saying earlier, he brought his sister Amber up here last week. She wound up top 4 with purple.
She's nice.
So
that's cool. Also, Kevin for that down-home flavor.
Yes, Omega084. Definitely go check him out. He's been doing a lot of other stuff, I guess, since he got back, like the Let's Plays. But I think now that he's back in the area, he's going to get back into Kaijudo.
So he's another one of those people. The organized play announcement really helped him to, decide that he was definitely going to make his channel a serious thing in the future, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right now he's in our area, and then I guess in like a year he'll be back in Georgia, so hopefully he'll be able to record like more player bases and stuff. So, that's cool.
Yep, and then we've got... that's it for local guys for the most part. You can go check out Spencer's account, I guess. He'd probably not like that. I don't know. We joke about that all the time. But
we just tell people to subscribe because he has no videos and never will.
Yeah, so anyways. But going down the list here in no particular order, Thunder Sultan, great friend, great guy. Like I said, you saw him when we did our little Gen Con stuff here on the channel. If you haven't checked him out yet, definitely go check him out. He's one of the coolest people out there right now. Love him to death. He's hilarious.
Like, famed Kaijudo baller, as it were.
Just a really, really good guy. Like he's so cool, so giving, so just
enthusiastic.
Yeah, enthusiastic is a great word. Like he's just an all around just awesome person.
And he has really good coverage of his local scene too, and his local scene's pretty good. So
yeah, he's putting videos up constantly for matches going on at League, and they're all good matches. Like just really good stuff coming out of his channel right now. Really enjoy all of his content.
That was the burp, not you, Thunder Sultan. I see those faces before.
Yeah. And then continuing down the list, Corey, the Kaijudo channel.
TKC.
Congrats on getting to 1,200 subscribers recently. Like, this kid is amazing. Like, ever since he started his channel back in March, and here we are now. We've been going through this adventure together since then. Like,
we were joking about that. I have to say the joke was funny because he was like, the video he took a break. He's posted like 2 videos in the last month, and he still got like 200 subscribers.
Yeah, he's getting like 200, but he hasn't been posting stuff lately. But I think now with this OP announcement, he will be posting stuff here or coming soon.
He'll be posting stuff recently.
So yeah, he'll be posting stuff at some point or another, but. Definitely go check him out. All of his videos. He covers the news perfectly. Every time Wizards comes out with some sort of update, he's on point with it the day of, if not a day later. Like, he's just really on point with all the Kaijudo. Anything Kaijudo related, he's
the Kaijudo channel, Carl.
He's on it. Yeah. So definitely go check him out for his content. Denver Kaijudo, bunch of cool guys down there. We got some fan mail from them recently. Like, just really, really just cool guys. They're just so...
I enjoy our Facebook conversations with Denver Kaijudo.
Yeah, like we
just talk about the game and stuff. And
they're just easy guys. Like they're taking it easy down there. They're doing what they love. They're super enthusiastic about it.
And they have really cool mats. So if you like cool mats, check them out. Yeah. They're probably like hand drawn. It's like, what?
Do they have a guy down there doing that?
Yeah, they charge like it's like $200 a mat. It's nuts.
Well, if you want a sick ass Kaijudo mat, check them out.
Right.
Like. Just really cool guys down there. Check them out. They've got great matches coming out of there. We got a lot of decks. Preston's known for posting all the cool combos that come out of sets. He found like the infinite combo and some cool stuff going on with that darkness thing.
Yeah, I didn't watch that video.
Kronos or whatever that card is.
Kronkos.
Like he's just posting cool combo. Like these guys are on point. Like they analyze this game. Yeah, they analyze this game so well and then give you guys so many cool like just neat things that come out of Kaijudo. So they're really on point with that.
And like Groove, that's what it was. All right, next.
Yeah, I watched that movie the other day.
Sweet.
Check out Andy Chris, aka Aiden Thorne.
Gates Kaijudo
is his YouTube.
And Gates of Fate is his website.
Yes. So.
And he writes articles that are pretty good.
Yep. So a lot of good content coming out of that whole inner circle of Gates. So definitely, I don't know. I was trying to think of a way to say that.
I just looked at you because your arm cracked when you did that. I
don't know. Yeah. But Gates Kaijudo, Gates of Fate, and then he posts articles up on Pojo. He's doing Card of the Days over there with Gorby now on Pojo.
And a few other people.
Yeah.
So read the Card of the Days on Pojo. Pojo is a great website. It's like this. Well, we'll talk about websites in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
But yeah. Drac Master hosting the Kaijudo Skype tournament currently, in which CBH is taking part in. Apparently, he didn't get my sign up, so I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways,
he'll be in the next one, Carl.
Yeah, I'll play the next one. But yeah, he's got a Skype tournament going on right now. He's got a bunch of prizes going on with all that, so definitely check it out. I don't know if like there's gonna be some way that he's gonna like post matches from that. I don't know if people.
It's up to the players if they want to record them on Skype, but like no one knows how to record on Skype but Corey, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, check him out. He's got other content up there too. I think you would know more than I would right now. So.
Yeah, he has some pretty good. He has deck profiles and matches and stuff. So check him out. He used to be like a Yu-Gi tuber, so he has like a couple hundred subscribers, and I guess they all stuck with him to Kaijudo, which is cool because he just sort of, from what I can see, he morphed the channel. Sort of like Bobby Break. Bobby Break is another one that I didn't mention on there, but he's the Gigabolver guy. I got the Gigabolver tech from him, even though I've never talked to him. I tried to friend him, and he didn't friend me back on Facebook. But like he's Billy Break's younger brother, and he has a channel. It's just Bobby Break. He has some cool Kaijudo things. He hasn't posted anything in like a month, but it's cool. Yeah. Because he's good, so.
Yep. Continuing down, Kaijudo Central. Again, I think you would know more than I would here. So
Kaijudo Central is a pretty good website. I don't know the actual. It's like a Zeta Boards thing, but just Google Kaijudo Central.
Yep.
And you'll get to it. It's like it in Pojo and I guess Gates, because like Andy says no one signs up for Gates, so go do that and then sign up for Kaijudo Central and Pojo, because they all have their different things that they do. Gates is very competitive oriented. Kaijudo Central is very just like straight up Kaijudo. Here's what it is. Let's talk about it. And I guess Pojo is sort of like the community thing.
The community
pool. Everyone's coming in it. No one wants to be. Okay. No. But Pojo's cool because there's like the Card of the Days and everything, and there's going to be articles up there too and stuff like J. Matthew writes and that's cool. So Pojo's good.
So it's a lot of good content. If you don't want to watch videos, you'd rather read content, then like Pojo and Kaijudo Central and Gates are like the places you'd want to go. And
I forgot. Too. I write articles.
Yes, this guy writes articles for ARG. His link's always down below. Definitely check him out.
I'm taking a break this week, but I'll be right back up next week. AlterRealityGames.com.
Yep.
Also, a great place to buy your product.
Indeed. And then the last two channels kind of go hand in hand right now. Mega Bolshak Dragon and Wizards Kaijudo, the Wizards official Kaijudo Facebook page. They're both posting a lot, or Mega Bolshak Dragon's posted all 26 episodes from Season 1 so far, and Wizards has been posting the trailers for the episodes and some of the episodes themselves on the channels, as well as, like, I think they were talking about posting interviews whenever they started the channel, but I'm not sure if they've done that yet. But definitely go check out both of those if you want to stay up to date on the actual
full episodes.
Yeah, Wizards Kaijudo has posted full episodes. They just don't have all 26 like Mega Bolshak Dragon does. Cool. So definitely go check them out if you want to keep up to date with the cartoon as it stands. I think Season 1's done now, but Season 2 will be starting here in a couple months. So stay tuned for all that.
Swag.
And that's all I have here. So,
yeah.
If you didn't get mentioned, comment down below
and people will find you. Maybe.
So so I can either add you to the list or give you a shout out in the next video we do. Coming this weekend, I will be posting the 20 questionnaire thing for the Let's Play for the Old Man Winter.
Good God.
And I'll give you the details then when I post that video. On top of that, just stay tuned for more duels, more deck profiles. I think that's pretty much how it's going to be for the next couple of weeks until we get that OP announcement, and then we'll go from there based on whatever that is.
Yep.
So
expect an announcement covering the news and all that on both of our channels probably.
Oh yeah,
we
definitely.
Just want to talk about it.
Yeah, as soon as it gets announced, we'll definitely dive into it. So stay tuned, and hopefully you've enjoyed our State of the Meta video, and
hopefully now you're all that much closer to being pro foundationals.
Indeed. So yeah, guys.
I'm huge.
On top of everybody's channel down below, definitely check out the social links, the Facebook, the Twitter, all that fun stuff. Best way to stay in contact with us, or even message us if you guys just want to know stuff. Start sending us questions and stuff too, like so we can start doing some like Q&As
that'd be cool.
Or interviews and stuff. I'm definitely trying to keep up with that stuff a lot more than I have been. So send us questions, and that way we can start doing little like Q&A segments every weekend. Sort of to replace, like we said in the last update, the card of the week that we were doing, now that Pojo's doing card of the day.
Yeah.
So, looking for ways to replace that, and questions would be awesome. Just anything you want to ask, whether it's Kaijudo related or not. Just anything you'd like to know, anything.
I will answer anything. Oh.
Probably not anything, but definitely ask a question. Don't hold back, and we'll see what we want to talk about. So, Facebook, Twitter, your articles, ARG, yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you feel a little more enlightened, or you've got you now know some people that you can go watch in case you're getting bored with us or any of the other people you've been watching.
There's honestly just too much content out there to watch it all.
Yeah,
so there's like something out there for everyone.
Yeah, like if you're seeing something you don't like, there's probably somewhere you can go to where you will like it.
Yeah, just subscribe to everyone and pick and choose what you actually watch.
So exactly.
Sort of.
So. Yeah, check everybody out. Check out the social links, and hopefully, guys, we'll see you next time. Peach.
Swag.